Hello and good day to you, my beautiful friends. I do hope you are well. Welcome to episode 112 of CrossButtonVR, our journey into the world of VR. Now, I'm your host, Laurie, and it is an honor to be joined by one of the most mystifying influencers in the metaverse. It's Reece. Hello.
Woo. So I always look forward to whatever you're going to say there. It's like a surprise every
Really?
week. Yeah, it's what I look forward to the most.
Yeah.
The reason why
Oh,
we
that's
still
good.
do this.
Yeah. I think a lot of people listen for the first 10 seconds, see what I say, and then they switch off.
Yep, cool. That's it.
So
Switch off. Don't need no more.
always. Yeah. So that's good. I'm glad that you appreciate me. So yeah, you had a good week.
Not been too bad. I've got hair all over me.
Not
Just been to the vets.
been too bad. Oh, okay. So yeah, not
Yeah.
you didn't. Yeah, I'm glad you clarified that. It's just
Yeah.
someone else's hair.
Yeah, no.
Your own hair, maybe.
No, it's not white. Not yet. Give it time.
Well, we've got quite a packed show this week. Sounds like there's quite a lot to be talking about. Who knew? Who knew? Lots of reviews have been out for the Midnight Walk today. Seems like a lot of people love it as much as we do, which is great to see. For those that have not heard it yet, you can check out our snap that we did where we reviewed the episode. It's a kind of 10-15 minute episode where we just talked about, we reviewed the episode, what we're talking about. We reviewed the game. Reece has finished it. He loves it. I'm sort of quite a decent chunk into it. I'm loving it. So yeah, great to see.
Good.
Hope it does very well for them.
Yeah, it means so.
There's been some patches that have dropped since you played it as well, haven't they? That have improved the resolution and other bits and bobs on it. So that's cool.
Yeah, they still need to do another resolution patch, and hopefully like a little patch to fix some of the little quality of life issues, I think is the best way of putting it. But resolution seems to be one of the main things that I've seen complaints about. So I think they're working on something. They have said they're going to look at trying to patch it more. So,
yeah. Well, that's cool. That's cool. Well, before we get into the episode then, well, people should check out that snap. We won't need to talk too much about the Midnight Walks. Suffice to say that we both love it, and I'm sure I'll keep playing it and fill people in when I finish it with some closing thoughts. But we wanted to talk about it because it's a hybrid game. Obviously, some people are playing it in VR. I've read some reviews that are completely not in VR. They just reviewed the flat version. And they still love it. But I'm like, oh man, you've just totally missed the point with this. Like, having played both of them.
I did see a post about that as well, actually, of somebody on Twitter who literally put up, actually it was Gritty, one of the Discord members, somebody who listens to the show as well, he put out a thing saying, I played Midnight Walk in non-VR, so I just quickly loaded up into VR, and he went, I hate to be that guy, but all you people out there without a VR headset need to go play this in VR, like, you need to go get a VR headset. So,
yeah,
it's great to see.
It's great to see, but also like sad to see that there's like it's a bit like GT7, I suppose. It's a spectacular version of this game, but just most people won't experience like that, and they're going to have to play a much more diminished version, which is a shame, really, because it deserves to be the vision of it fully realised in VR, which it does so well, and that's kind of why we love the medium, I suppose. Yeah. But in the honour of hybrid games, we kind of thought about what other hybrid games do we most want on PSVR 2, and we've also been playing this week. We've both been playing Days Gone.
Yep, the remastered.
Which has obviously just been remastered. And did that get you thinking, God, you really want to play Days Gone in VR?
It did, yeah. So very kindly, Sony sent us a couple of keys to check out Days Gone Remastered. And yeah, I for me, I loved Days Gone back when it came out on the PS4. Played it a lot back then, platinumed it. Spent, I think, on my actual time, I think I've got over 100 hours on Days Gone. Really enjoyed the game. So obviously they've remastered it now. Some new, there's like a new horde mode style thing, which is pretty cool. But the story, everything like that, it's got a nice little bump in graphics and the fidelity, and it looks really good. And it just made me think.
On that, it looks really good. Like,
go on. You're playing on the Pro, so
yeah, on the PS5 Pro. Obviously, it's all 60 frames per second, smooth as you like, but it looks so sharp. The resolution on it. Talking about resolution bumps, it just looks so crisp to me, and I'm playing on really nice TV as well. And but the colors of it's just such a good looking game, and you just think, wow, this is an incredibly polished video game. Like, because obviously it's come out and it's been updated and patched and now remastered, and you think, wow, they have really polished this game to an inch of its life. It's so crisp, and the colors just look fantastic on it, and yeah, it's it's that classic PlayStation Studios package of that kind of that fidelity that you expect from them now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to giving that a go. I've played it a bit. I'm gonna wait till I finish AC Shadows, which I'm still thoroughly enjoying and loving. I can't start another big open world game, or I can't.
Oh no, it's
we can't juggle these. So yeah, but it's definitely joined the playlist.
Yeah, I think when I originally played it back on the PS4, I think it took me probably, I want to say like 40 hours to do maybe the story, and then like 60 with all the side stuff and upgrading everything and doing the hauled pits. And I think by the end of that, I ended up playing more of it because I just loved how the motorbike felt. And yeah, it's a great game. I'm looking forward to starting it all over again now, New Game Plus with all my weapons, because I've got my save transfer over from the original. So I'm looking forward to.
But you reckon this would be a good VR game, do you?
I do and I don't. There's a mixture to it. So for me, like, I think just seeing that immense horde chasing you in VR would be, well, just shooting them with all your weapons would be so awesome. Like, there's some other VR games that have zombie hordes and things like that, but to the scale of this, like, I think it would take a lot for them to get it to work. But just literally shooting every zombie on it and taking out the hordes, even though they dumbed it down a little bit and made it so you just did the hordes, minimized how much the motorbike was used, because I think that would be the main issue if this was a game that went into VR, would be the motorbike. Managing that motorbike while you're in VR, I think you're probably going to crash a lot of stuff, because obviously you're in open woods, you've got to dodge trees, you've got to dodge traps and things like that as well. And that in VR would probably be so difficult to do unless they really made a nice tailored assisted motorbike. But yeah, I think the horde style stuff, I'd love this game, the way it looks, the way it plays, to be in VR. I mean, there's loads of other Sony studio games that we'd scream for in VR. God of War, The Last of Us. That's, I mean, even Helldivers. Give me Helldivers in VR, and I think I'd be lost. I don't think you'd hear from me.
So on Days Gone now, I can't think of like another open world style VR game, because I can see how you could make this into a first person shooter. Just look at kind of your Arizona Sunshines and stuff, and they're kind of big zombie hordes and stuff. But I can't think of a game. But I suppose you don't want a 40-hour VR game, I guess, is the thing. But then we do see games that are that.
Yeah,
that
but
long,
I mean, I think the way of looking at it is now with how Sony's being with, like, and not just Sony, but also PCs getting a bit more like it as well, but hybrid VR games. I want to see more of that. I want to see more of these games that can make a lot of their money back from the non-VR side of it. And then they can also be like, okay, well, we want to see how it look in VR. We've done this. Like Hitman, for instance. How many people have jumped in and picked up that recently just because of the VR side of it? I mean, it was the only reason I went back and played it. And, it's crazy. So, I mean, just...
I've done my homework that you sent me, and I've thought and come up with a list of things that I want to see. So 12 on my list, and there's actually 2 in 1 here, but The Last Guardian and Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh!
Based on how good Mare is in VR, which is a similar kind of Team Eco-esque experience, I think The Last Guardian would play really well in VR. It doesn't need to be first person. You can just be kind of in that world with Trico. It's a fantastic game, and I've never played Shadow of Colossus.
Good shout.
But those kind of huge bosses, you could get a kind of behemoth style vibe going to them and stuff, and yeah, that would help make them even more kind of awe-inspiring and cool to look at. So yeah, that would be top of my list, and that feels like it'd be a very doable type thing, because both those games, you say, if you don't need to switch them into first person, like a third person game. You could easily, the PS5 would easily have to play both those games in VR.
Definitely. I think with like Days Gone, I think a lot would have to be sorted out for it to be VR. But it's just, I think it's more of a pipe dream when we've been playing this. And I think that's the reason why it stemmed this idea of talking about hybrid games again.
Well, those are top of my list. And then obviously you've got obvious ones like Astrobot. I thought Helldivers, like you, that would be so cool in VR.
It would.
And that, again, doesn't feel like a huge leap to play Helldivers.
No, there's only one game that's similar to Helldivers in VR. Well, 2. You got the Starship Troopers, and then you've also got Guardians Frontline on Quest and PC. But again, both of these don't have that scale of Helldivers, where you're kind of taking on these big maps and having to do all these different missions around the map. So I think that would work really well in VR.
Just because Helldivers has that momentum now, it's kind of captured the imagination in a way that lots of live service games don't. And if Sony were to make it, and if they put it out on PC, Quest, and PSVR 2 as a cross-play game across all of them, so it had a really vibrant community, and kind of just remake it, but just get the developers or get a different developer to keep all of the Helldivers kind of, all of what you love about
the cool stuff,
kind of a separate version of VR. It could play a bit like Starship Troopers, I guess, but just put it in that universe and with that kind of sense of humor and that same kind of really chunky combat, and being able to pull down weapons and stuff on the fly. It's such a cool game. I love Helldivers too.
We need to play that again.
Yeah. I ended up playing it with you and getting you to carry us through the missions. That was the only way I could get through them. But yeah, it would be such a cool experience in VR. Returnal, we say it.
Yeah,
we've said that
I
a few
think
times over the years.
Ben still wants that, don't he? I think that'll take
Ben
him
is
back to VR.
willing it to happen in the same way that Alex is willing Astrobot to happen. I don't think he will, to be honest, but yeah, we can all have our hopes and dreams. And then final two for me: Until Dawn and Detroit would be my last two picks. I think Until Dawn, I just would be like being in a horror movie. It would be so much fun.
Detroit, oh my, that in VR would be insane.
Cool. And I don't know. If you made it like first person, where you would just
eye tracking and everything as well, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, although you have multiple characters, so I don't know how that would work in first person. You'd be confusing.
I suppose they just make it so you're the perspective of the characters. I'm sure they could do it that way. Okay, well, I like those ones. The one that I'm seeing lacking and missing there, though, that would absolutely work in VR, Ghost of Tsushima.
Well, again, yeah, I don't know how they'd make these big open world games. I'd love a Ghost of Tsushima experience, like a Call of the Mountainous thing, and with Ghost of Yotai coming out this year, then maybe that's something they do. Maybe that's what Firesprite have been working on for the last couple of years.
Yeah, maybe they can make like a 10-hour experience or something and just make it so it's a hybrid version, almost like a standalone DLC to the Ghost universe that they're doing. You know,
yeah,
I think that'd really work.
Talking about I would love a VR experience of that, but if you're talking about a hybrid game, I just don't know how like a hybrid an open world game, how that translates to VR.
I think it would work. I think they could get it to work, but again, you wouldn't be able to do it on Quest. It would only be on PC and PlayStation, and I think it would heavily rely on the extra bump from the Pro. Otherwise, I think you're going to be having like 60 frames with reprojection and all that kind of stuff. But I think as they was managed to get it work on the Pro and also PC, I think you could get some nice open world gameplay. But I think what they would have to do in that hybrid pool is actually make it so your field of view is lower to increase the frame rate. Because otherwise, if your field of view is increased, you're going to be seeing absolutely everything. Because let's be honest, how much you see in Ghost of Tsushima when you're looking around, it's a visually stunning game. Whereas if they kind of make it so your field of view is a bit closer, that should be able to work. And obviously with gameplay wise, I'm sure they can get it to work where you change your stance. They'd be like, okay, attack with your right side if you're
that'd be exhausting if you're doing proper samurai combat.
Hold the stilt with the sword here with your left hand to use this stance. They could really make it work. They could, if they really wanted to think it through, I think they could get it to work.
I love your ambition, but I love your ambition.
Sony, hire me, please.
It would be the most
get me in an office
VR game ever.
I'm gonna, but that's the thing though. This is why we need hybrid games, because we need this ambition in VR. We need these games that someone goes, Joe, no, we can make that. We're gonna make that. Sure, it's gonna take us 6 years to make it, but when it comes out, you're like, damn, that was something that's never been done in VR before. And until things like that keep happening, it's you're constantly going to keep getting the same thing over and over again, where people are like, cool, it's good, but it feels like this game. Whereas if you play something else, it's like, this feels like nothing I've played before. I mean, what better would it be than Sony to take the whole and be like, we're doing that? Like, that would be so good for them to kind of, I don't know, take a standpoint. But, yeah.
I've got one final choice that I feel like, in honor of Jimmy Bowers, they just need to bring out a new Killzone game.
Oh, yes. Why have you not said that?
Just make a first-person Killzone, just like Shadowfall. Make that a VR.
Make Shadowfall hybrid, yeah.
Just make a new Killzone game and just,
Well, I think they should do that as well. I think they should remaster Killzone Shadowfall, make it hybrid, and see how much hype it gets to decide whether, one, should they continue making more Killzone games, or should they just leave it there with the remaster? Because I think for me, like, playing Killzone in VR, I think would absolutely blow me away. I've been playing the Killzone games ever since I was younger. Much like Jimmy, like, them games are still so solid to this day. Like, you play Shadowfall now, it still looks great. It's crazy how great that thing looked. And I think that's another great one. I would be all over that like a rash. Yeah.
Killzone was such a fucking fantastic IP and such a powerful IP. It was so good, and it's so, like, I don't know.
It's the one shooter in my mind
bizarre that, and I get that Guerrilla Games have moved on from it. They don't want to do it
Yeah.
anymore. But there are so many devs out there that would do such a amazing job. They could absolutely smash it. And so many VR devs as well that you could just give the IP to and say, here you go, make us a VR game, and they would absolutely knock it out of the park.
Sony could be like, let's be honest, like, there's at least 2 devs you can think of. One is Arrowhead, with how great they've done with Helldivers. I think if they took a first-person game and made Killzone, I think they could do it really well. The other one, and an obvious choice in, is Killzone was pretty much the rival. Xbox had Halo and PlayStation had Killzone, and that's how it was for a while. Get Bungie to do it, mate. You've got Bungie on your,
Yeah, I mean, Bungie ain't going to develop a VR. But it's a lovely idea, but they do.
But they're literally under Sony's thumb pretty much these days, aren't they?
I don't know they are. I don't know. They don't. I don't think they take jobs from Sony. I think they take what they're going to do next, and Sony's like, okay.
Sony gives them a bit of bump every now and then. They're like, okay, cool, just give them a little bit more, and maybe we'll get Killzone. But no, I think I'd give it to Arrowhead just because I think their clear ambition of what they make and how they can elevate their games. I think they'd be the best choice for a live service Killzone with a minimum story.
Yeah.
But I'd VR.
Yeah. I don't know. I was thinking more just some VR specific devs. I mean, I don't know. Know who.
Yeah, but then, I mean, again, hybrid. When it comes to hybrid games, there is enough devs out there that will be more than happy to jump on the pool. You've got VR Monkey. You've got Flat to VR. Both of those studios would literally jump on and be like, okay, we can do this for you. We can make this into VR. And if not, we can give you the tools and how to make it into VR. And they can still work off the same, platform that they're already doing. So there's enough ways they can do it. It's just more of, will they ever do it? And we can only hope.
I don't know. They
It's a pipe dream.
Sony should just throw some money at Sony should just throw some money at Vertigo Games and just say that you made Metro Awakening, did a great job with that.
Yeah, give it to Vertigo.
Get your team to make a Killzone game now, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's what I'm hoping for.
Hybrid.
I'm hoping in like another 2-3 years when Flat to VR absolutely blow up, Sony's like knocking on their door and going, okay, guys, we've seen what you can do. Can you turn this into VR for us? Like, I need it.
Hoping.
I need it. So, and Flat to VR, if you've already been contacted, just keep that coming. Give us, just drop me a message and let me know if I've got something to look forward to in the next 2 years.
Well, for now, we are playing The Midnight Walk, which is a great hybrid game. As I said in our review, it's a great hybrid game that you can switch between them really easily. You just sort of go out to the main menu and you can just jump back in at the same point, exactly the same point. Switching between VR and non-VR takes like 20 seconds to do. So that's good. It's not like Resident Evil. You have to play the entire campaign one way or another.
That's another way of doing it.
Hybrid games. Not the sort of hybrid games that I like. I like that approach because you can kind of move it forward whatever mood you're in. Reece is like, what are you talking about? How are you not in the mood for VR ever? I don't understand.
You say that, but then I've been playing a game, and this is another one I'd actually like to see in hybrid. It's not a Sony game, but it's from a good friends over at Perp, and they kindly sent across their code for Finding Frankie, and I've sat down and had the time to play it, and I absolutely loved it. And I even contacted the devs on Twitter, and I was like, "Do you have any plans to make this in VR? Because I think it'd really work. Like the way it plays, it's like a parkour game with horror characters chasing you and things like that. And it was just an absolute blast. So much so that I played it through once and then went through it again a second time and got the platinum. Really enjoyed it. So worth checking out.
Yeah, nice. Well, that's hybrid games, and we should wait and see what comes up with next. I think it is cool because it is a great way to grow the VR in a more sustainable way, because it means that devs can still sell copies. And I hope the Midnight Walk gets lots of success and people buy it and play it in flat, so it makes lots of money. But everyone knows that it's better in VR. So
yeah, that is one that's definitely better in VR.
Cool. Well, let's move on to the news. Before we do, though, just remind everyone, if you're watching on YouTube, please hit like and subscribe, leave us a comment, all that kind of stuff to help the algorithm do its job, please. Thank you very much.
Do it now.
Do it now.
Do it.
So, yeah, once you've done that, we can get back to the episode.
Have you done it?
In the news. I haven't done it. No.
Have you done it now?
I don't think I don't know if I have on my personal YouTube. I don't think I follow anyone. I don't do YouTube. I don't get it. I don't think I follow anyone. But let's start with the news, and let's start with zombies. Talking of Days Gone Zombies, although they're called Freakers in that. But we've got a new trailer for Zombie Army VR. And did you watch this? Did you watch it? Richard?
I have. It looks very good.
Doesn't it?
It
does.
Looks
really good.
Yeah.
It's a really nice looking game. Not
Yeah.
something I'm going to be.
I cannot
it's
wait.
not a Laurie game. It's a Reece game.
Yeah, it's definitely a me game. Yep, 100%. I've been looking forward to this one since it was first announced. I mean, I love the Zombie Army games. I remember playing 1 and 2, I think it was, on PC. Yeah, really had a good time with them. I know they've made more since then, but I haven't really jumped into a lot of those since then. But yeah, the first one, 1 and 2, is absolutely banging.
And it's obviously full campaign. You can play it in co-op or play it alone. So it's like Arizona Sunshine. It's like the same way you can do stuff together. So yeah, I guess this is one you're looking forward to.
Yeah, I am. I'm hoping to get a chance to jump in that at some point. So.
Well, not long to wait now, because it comes out on May the 22, which is about a week or so after this episode drops. So not long to wait. Not long to wait. Who knows? You might already have it, and you're just not telling anyone about it because you can.
I don't. I don't.
Maybe you're
I'm
just
going to put it out there now. I don't have it. I would love to have it now so I can jump into it, but yeah, no, yeah, I do not have it right now.
That's exactly what someone who does have it would say, though, Reece.
No, I'll tell you the game next of what I've been playing, what I've been sinking time in, but we'll get for the news first, and we'll come back to that.
Okay. Well, some games that have been announced to come over to PSVR 2 are Zero Calibre 1 and 2. Not just 1, not just 2, but 1 and 2. You're looking very happy about this, Reece. Tell me why.
Zero Calibre, the first one, was one of the main reasons I wanted to get a Quest back in the day, because I remember seeing videos. It's one of the things. It's one of the games where people were posting a lot of videos about it, and it actually piqued my interest in VR quite a lot because of the way it looked. And then years had passed, and I say years had passed. I eventually got a PSVR 1 instead, which Zero Calibre never came to. And then later on, I eventually got a Quest. The Quest 3, jumped into Zero Calibre, and it still holds up. Still stands the test of time. It's a lot of fun. It's a really good shooter. And again, talking of like co-op shooters and things like that, this is one that you want to play in like a campaign. It's a full-on campaign. You can play it with your mates. Decent story. So yeah, really recommend playing Zero Calibre.
It's a very shooty, shite game, as Alex would say.
It is, which Alex would say, but this is where it gets. This is how you know it's a good game. Alex played Zero Calibre 2 with me, and this is the words Alex said. And this is a man that does not play shooty, shite. He actually said, "Oh, I'd be down to play that again. That was really fun." So that's how you know you've made a shooting game that's actually enjoyable, because somebody who doesn't like shooting games will willingly jump in again and play it.
Well, we don't have a date for that yet. They just confirmed that it is on its way. So
number one, they're currently working on. I think from the post they put out, they've put out like a little Trello board type of thing of what they're working on. And I think they've said Zero Calibre is currently in the works for the first one, and number 2 will be later down the line, kind of thing. Unless their plans change, but that's what was on the little board thing they put out.
Cool. All right. Well, next story, we've got Vendetta Forever, which has now been ported over to PC VR, and plus everywhere gets 5 new levels in a free update. So if you have played and finished Vendetta Forever previously on Quest or PlayStation VR 2, download an update today, and you can jump back in and get some more free levels. Which, who doesn't like more free levels? Free DLC.
I think the DLC is on all of them now, or is it just on PC first and it's coming over to the others?
No, it's on all of them now. It's on
all of them now. Brilliant. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, so it's on PC now.
PC, it's just came out on PC now.
Everywhere also gets the.
That was it. Yeah, they were doing
PC. They get the update, so everywhere gets the update.
They confused me with
cool.
it.
So it's a really good game as well. So, but it's probably the sort of game that most people have sort of played, worked for the levels, done them to sort of however the level of satisfaction they want to get from it, and then but it's worth it's always the sort of thing that just I'll always up for just trying more of those levels out, and it's a game you can just keep playing forever. Really. If they just keep making content for it, you would I'll just jump in.
With how the levels are in it, especially them all being like themed by movies and things like that, the inspiration that he has to keep making these levels is never ending. So look forward to the future.
Not just John Wick. There are other things in there as well.
There are other action movies less than John Wick.
That's cool. Okay, Into the Radius 2 is coming to... it's got an early access date for coming to Quest on May the 21st. May the 21st.
That is correct.
Not long. It's coming out. So it's Into the Radius 2 was on PC before, right? And it's not on PSVR 2 yet, so it's now coming to Quest.
So it's still in early access. So even on PC, it's still in early access. They're bringing it over to Quest now to kind of continue the early access phase. But I remember it's been hyped about on PC. I've played it on PC. I absolutely love Into the Radius 2. Has a few quirks at the time, but they're kind of working them all out, obviously, as you would expect with early access, but it plays amazing. And obviously with the feature of having co-op on it as well, is another cool way of playing Into the Radius. Has the exact same feel as the first game, just a little bit more fleshed out in certain things. The way the base is now done feels really cool. The way the shop is, and you kind of walk all the way through, and you kind of pick up your items that you want to buy, and you take them to the little kiosk bit, and you can select what you're buying on the kiosk. And yeah, it's done really well in that sense. It kind of makes that a little bit better. Yeah, I've been loving Into the Radius 2 on PC, and the fact that it's coming to Quest, especially now in my current situation, I haven't had a chance to play PC VR, so I'm looking forward to actually sinking quite a bit of time into this on the Quest. But yeah, when it comes out of early access, I'm hoping they haven't mentioned anything about PSVR 2 yet, as far as I'm aware, but hopefully if Into the Radius 1 was a success for them on PSVR 2, hopefully once this is fully released, I'll be looking at doing, a port of this. And if that's the case, I think, again, it'll do really well on there because it looked fantastic before.
It did, and Into the Radius 1 did really well, didn't it, on PSVR 2?
It seemed like it did. Again, I think it's one of the most popular, one of them really popular VR games. Yeah. Well,
speaking of things coming to Quest, I got a new name. It's coming to Quest Plus. That was a poor segue. But yeah, Meta are rebranding Quest Plus to Horizon Plus. They really are not going to give this up. They're not going to back down on this. We are going to call it Horizon. Nope. I've got a theory. I think there will not be a Quest 4 headset. I think there'll be a Meta Horizon headset next.
Yeah, I think it's going to be called that.
Retire the Quest stuff, because I think if they have a Quest 4, it starts to. I think the VR headset, it's not like a
Quest 4, Quest 5, Quest 6, Quest 7, 8, 9.
Well, yeah, because they're they're updating them every couple of years, and then they'll do the 3, and then they'll do 3S, and then probably next year or the year after it's going to be the 4, and it becomes the numbers are going to get high very quickly. So I just think they're going to restart again and just call it Horizon.
The Meta Horizon.
Which is strange because Quest is such a good name to say. It's just when you're talking about different hardware,
it slips off the tongue, doesn't it? Yeah,
coming to Quest. Yeah, it's a nice word to say.
Coming to Horizon.
Yeah,
no, don't like
Horizon.
it.
Yeah, we'll say
we're still going to be saying Quest, aren't we? Yeah, it's like Twitter. We're not going to call it X. We're still going to call it Twitter.
But I swear, every time I turn on my Quest now, they do something to crowbar in the Horizon world, make it more front and center and like more unavoidable. And
Joe, what?
Yeah,
like with Horizon, it's one of those things that I always kind of like. I don't want to pay attention to it. Yesterday, I saw an advert from Tabor, which are VR developers, and they've made a Blumhouse experience in Meta Horizon, or it's coming to Meta Horizon soon, and it's going to have like Megan in it, and just all the Blumhouse films. I think Purge and things like that are going to be on there as well. And I for the first time in a long time, I've actually went, I might actually have to check out Meta Horizon just for that. Like, that's the only thing that's maybe got. I want to check that out.
Well, when you buy a Kindle, or it used to be the case, I don't know if it still is, but you used to get like a Kindle. You could buy one for 50 quid and it would have adverts in it. So you'd have adverts on your main home screen. Or you could pay £10 extra to buy it and it wouldn't have adverts in the software. Or you could pay £10 later on to sort of buy out the adverts, basically, which is a great system because it's like you can have it cheap if you're willing to take the adverts, or you can just switch all that off. And I would happily pay £10 to never have to see anything about Horizon Worlds again on my Quest. And just say, look, Zuckerberg, please just take my money and just
take my
turn this off. Let me turn this off. You can have some money off me, but please, I don't want to see it. I just want to play actual games that are not shovel crap. Yeah. So, as an idea for you there, Mark, if you want some money off me, because as wonderful as your VR concerts are on Horizon Worlds, and they're not, by the way, they're absolutely shite. I don't need it. It just gets in the way of the stuff, and it's just my app list has just got all this Horizon stuff that they keep peppering into it, and it's just like doesn't go away. That's annoying. Anyway, let's move on. We were talking about hybrid stuff earlier. I don't know how we didn't cover this at the time.
Well, that's why I put it on there as well.
Well, yeah, you should have.
Yeah. Now I want to kind of loop. Now I want to loop back round to it.
Well, the episode is bookended with this subject. Yeah, because Alien Rogue Incursion is getting a non-VR version, a flat version called Evolved Edition. It's coming out on September the 30th. So essentially that is going to be a hybrid
PlayStation and PC.
Yeah, so I presume if you own it on PlayStation, will you get that for free, that version, or is it a separate thing?
I hope so. I hope you get an update for free, or if you have to buy it again, or do you buy that one and it gets the VR one? We'll have to see. I haven't read exactly into that. I'll let you carry on typing while I talk a little bit. But yeah, you can
I'll
find
find out.
it. Yeah, this is how we do it here. We're on point. I enjoyed this game. I think it's actually a really good idea that they've done this because although it got quite good reception from people, a lot of people did like it. It had a few issues, and I don't know how well in terms of sales this game has done. Again, I think it's probably done okay-ish because it's got the Alien tile, but I think in terms of having a game like Alien Rogue Incursion, I think that's a game that from the get-go should have been hybrid. They should have got two separate teams working on two sides of it and made one part non-VR and one part VR, just because I think it would have maximised sales. Bit odd that they've not said Xbox as well. It just seems like it's PC and PlayStation at this point. And also with the title being called Evolved Edition, I feel like the Evolved Edition would be the VR side of it. But again, that's just us being the VR heads we are. Be like, no, the VR's a better one.
The Devolved Edition.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to call it the Devolved Edition because I feel like that's how it should be.
The Prometheus Edition. See what I've done there?
Oh, you're on it tonight, Laurie.
Yeah, I can't see on the story that's been released the details of the sort of cross-buy and whether ownership. Who knows? We'll have to wait.
They did like a little picture at the end of the trailer, but I couldn't actually see what it said because it was kind of the small print and all that kind of stuff. Didn't really say anything, but it showed two little square images and it said like plus and something like that. So I'm assuming there's going to be something like that. But we'll see. I don't really know. I'll have to
presumably, because part 2 is in development, so presumably part 2 will just come out as a hybrid game at launch, I guess. Which, be good.
Yeah, I'd assume so. I think that'd be the best way for them to do it now. Yeah, I think that's the best way for them to go forward.
It'd be weird if they didn't, really, wouldn't it? So,
could you imagine if they do it the same way again, and then like Evolved Edition? It's like, oh, come on. Yeah,
and then like when you complete the game, it's like, to be continued. Like,
we're doing a part 3 now, and we didn't want to tell you until the last minute when you play the game. Because I remember that whole thing as well. Everybody's like, 1 minute, this says part 1 at the end. It's like, yeah, that shocked me too. Like, but no, good on them. Glad they're doing it. Just mainly for sales reasons, because I think, again, it's a good Alien game. It really is. It's not the best Alien game you're going to play, and I think everyone's kind of voiced it still to this day. Alien. Come on, what's it called? What's the previous one? Tip of my tongue. Isolation. That's the one. Yeah, I think to this day everybody still sees that as like the definitive best Alien game that's ever made. But I think in terms of like an action Alien game, this was pretty solid, and it's definitely not the worst Alien game I've played either. So I'm glad they're doing this for more people to experience it because it was good fun.
Good. Well, we shall wait and see how that does. Hopefully it comes out and it runs well and it gets good reception. Let's just finish up on what we've been playing. And for me, it's only been the Midnight Walk this week, so we've heard all about that already. So why don't you round off the show just by telling us what else you've been playing? I know there's been one big release that you are so happy to finally get your hands on now on PSVR 2. So why don't you tell us all what that's been?
I have been playing... I'm going to give everyone a little guess moment of what could you possibly think of? No, they all know. Ghosts of Tabor. It finally come to PSVR 2, and I am so happy that it has because, damn, it's such a good port. Like, in terms of Ghost of Tabor, I've played Ghost of Tabor on Steam, so PC VR. I've also played on the Rift store. They don't have a difference between the two of them, but I've got it on Steam and Rift. For anyone who don't know, Rift store is basically Quest's PC store type of thing. We still call it Rift store. It's not anymore. But anyways, it's on there as well, and I play it a lot on Quest, and the majority of the time has been me playing this on Quest. So to be able to play it again like I'm playing it on PC, because it looks like the PC version. It's definitely a port of the PC version. It runs really well. It's got favorited rendering, I believe. I did have all my notes for it, so I'm going to let Laurie quickly talk for 2 seconds while I load up my notes for it. So
that's not a lot I can talk about when it comes to Ghosts of Tabor.
In
this game, you have to shoot people. Is it extraction shoot? This one, is it?
It is extraction shooter. Yeah. So you're basically going through. You start off in your bunker, and you have to look at all your stuff. You got the main thing is, so let me start off with the way you're going to buy this game first, because I think that's something people kind of a bit not confused about, but there has been a little bit of uproar about it because how people can be with the whole pay to win kind of stuff like that. So when you buy the standard edition, you will get the normal vault. And by this, I mean you'll have a couple of rooms open and nothing else. The rest of the stuff you have to unlock by doing the different trade stuff. And then you'll eventually get all of that. So once you've unlocked all these other things, you will have rooms to basically make your ammo. So when you finish your clips in a raid, you actually want to bring out your, I say clips, magazines. Sorry, people, you're going to go mad at that. But you want to bring out your magazines with you because you're actually going to want to make ammo and fill these back up. So this room isn't usually unlocked when you buy the standard edition, but you do have two other editions. The one I remember is the Independence edition, which is the one that basically gives you everything. There's still some rooms that are still locked, which you will have to unlock. However, it will start you off with the room that allows you to make ammo. And it also comes with more vests, more weapons, more stuff for your actual vest to hold things, more bags. So it does give you a little bit of an edge if you was to go for the Independence edition. Now, for anyone going, getting an uproar about this, I can understand your perspective. It's just the way it's always been. This is how it's always been. However, the weapons you get given extras of are not weapons that are going to absolutely shred. This is a game where if you've got decent aiming, you're going to win anyway. If you've got bad aiming and you've got a good weapon, you're still going to die, because the simple fact is people in this game are going to be 10 times better than you. With this game, people have been playing this every day for the past 2-3 years. This is a game that people have not stopped playing. They love this game. So even if you do buy the Independence Edition, yes, you're going to get more weapons, but a lot of those weapons are already like duplicates of the weapons you'd get in the standard edition. And the good weapons you're going to unlock are going to come later down the line when you've got a higher level and you've got key cards and unlocked better vaults and things like that. So bear that in mind if you're kind of a bit angry about the Independence Edition type of thing. Just take it as it will, or just buy it and get that little boost and stuff. So now we've got that out of the way. Yes, Ghost of War is an extraction shooter. You start off, you pick out your things. You need to manage your health, your food, and your hydration while you're on a raid as well. So if you go out on a raid and you're doing really well and you forgot to bring a bottle of water, you're going to start dying unless you find water somewhere. It's the same thing to go with food. You get shot, you're going to start bleeding out. You need to bandage your bullet hole. You need to then take an injection. It's very, I say hyper realistic in the terms of like what you have to do. Think of like Into the Radius type of gameplay, but in an online setting with other people shooting at you. It's intense. It's frantic. And it's one of the closest like things you get to like a mil sim with communication in VR. And it's all reliant on communication. However, other people can hear you when you're communicating. So when you're in a raid, you'll be basically going in looking for certain items that you may have got a request from tasks. These will then build you up with other tradesmen to basically give you more rep and things like that, so you can buy better gear and all that kind of stuff. Or you can just find loads of things and throw them on a conveyor belt and sell them. But if you die in that raid, doesn't matter what you've picked up or what you've got on you, you will lose it. So you won't take that back to your bunker with you. You will have to start again, grab your gear again, go back in. And it's that rinse and repeat gameplay. Now, if you think, oh, what happens if I'm really bad and I'm going to lose all my stuff? Fortunately, games like this do have a wipe. And what that means is everything that's basic is going to go back. You're not going to have that anymore. It'll come back to you again on the wipe and you can start all over again. There's also a panel where you can get daily drops and weekly drops as well. And this will give you some meds, food, water, all that kind of stuff to keep you carrying on with your raids, so you don't have a point where you can't play it anymore because you have nothing because you've lost it all. And then again, you can get money and buy different things as well. So it's a very in-depth game and it's going to keep you busy if you like it.
Wait, so can I just stop in and say, I love how much you love this game and how
it's
so
boring you,
it.
isn't
I
it?
can tell. No, it's not. I'm in awe of how into it you are. You're so. It's like always kind of. It's so endearing to hear you talk about something. You're so like.
Well, I hope Combat Waffle.
Like you really want to explain it. I can tell you're trying to do it justice, and you're trying to explain it to people so you get them on board with it. I can see you're really kind of.
Is it working for you? Have I got you on board?
It's like you're doing a kind of like you're on like Dragon's Den doing a pitch almost. It's almost like I'm like, yeah, no, almost. I'm like, fuck yeah, maybe I do want to play it. No, it's not the sort of thing I want to play.
It's because
I can see why, and I understand this. I understand for a certain type of VR player, this is like This
Yeah.
is like this is what VR should be. This is what you want from VR, 100%. And I would say if people want to join our Discord and organize a game, Reece is pretty much
please do.
Always up for that.
I've already shot in a couple of messages this week, being like, I'm going to be jumping on it this day. If anyone's around, jump on. So I'll be carrying on doing that kind of stuff as well. Where was I? You stopped my train of thought. But yeah, anyway,
sorry.
You can get all the stuff from the computers and things like that. So it gives you a reason to keep playing and working on stuff. But then again, your mindset will be, well, it's still going to get wiped anyway. But you can kind of, that's what makes it fair in a sense. But again, it goes back to the whole thing of, I bought the Independence Edition. Does all that stuff go? No, when you wipe, you'll go back to still having all the stuff that you would have got from them. So you will have a bit of an advantage. But again, you're just going to have more weapons of what people would already have. And yeah, like I said, just gives you time to keep working on your aim. Another thing that not many people mention about with Go to Tabor is, and this is again because a lot of people don't play this mode, but if you are someone that doesn't want to go into a match with other players, you just want to play with your friends, there is a PvE mode, and this changes you over to like a separate actual thing itself. So you add your username again, and then you can play PvE, and that will just be you and your buddies. Parties are free, so you can play with, it'll be you and 2 other people. And literally, you can just play the maps and take out the NPCs and things like that, the AI, and you can just have fun doing it that way. And again, it still has the same gameplay. You go in, you pick up stuff, you expand your base and all that kind of stuff. But again, it takes out that huge threat of having some experienced players, because this game is crossplay. You're going to be bumping into the PC players. You're going to be bumping into the Quest players. And like I said, these people, they're pros. They've been playing this. They will get a shot on you from yards away, and you'll be like, "Who the hell even hit me?" And you won't even know, because it will just.
I can't play these games. Yeah.
You're like I played it with Jeremy.
Who is shooting me? I can't even see anyone. I'm just keep dying constantly. That's my experience with these sorts of games.
So I was playing it with Jamie, and we walked into like this tower, like a sniper tower, and we started getting shot at. And literally the audio, I don't know what they've done to the audio, or if it's just the headphones I have on my PSVR 2. But literally, like, you could hear the bullets ricocheting off the sheets of metal, and we were crouching down and everything, and it was so intense. And I think it was only one person shooting us in the end. We ended up taking him out, but it was just such a surreal feeling. Or there was another bloke who we saw run into a tent, and I ended up going up to him, and he dropped all his stuff. And I had my pistol on him, like, keep your hands up kind of stuff. And Jamie's like, I've got aim on him as well. Do you want me to shoot him? Like, no, he's fine. He's not doing anything. So it really adds those kind of intense moments that you won't really get in a lot of other VR games. And
sounds
yeah.
terrible.
Yeah, it's
you're making me want to go back and play Sushi Ben instead and just carry on.
Yeah. So you can go play Sushi Ben still, but no, it's a lot of fun, and this is a game that you've been looking forward to. The port does it justice, and they're still doing some more patches and things like that. I know they're meant to be sorting out adaptive triggers. That's something they're looking at doing. But the game itself does run at 90 hertz native, and it has PC VR visuals, and there is dynamic foveated rendering as well. So they've done what you want them to do with the PSVR 2 port, apart from just at this point in time, the adaptive triggers are a bit, they need to kind of sort those out of it, and that's what they're working on.
Well, I'm sure they will, yeah.
But yeah,
seems easy,
and as they say, and so I do recommend this one. I'm actually really having a blast playing it again.
Yeah, no, I'm so happy. I'm so pleased, because you've been waiting for it to come to PSVR 2. I know you've been wanting.
Yeah, I
think
that's
where you've been wanting to play it. So yeah,
it's really well done. And like they say on all their posts, when you play this game, just go into it with the mindset of trust absolutely no one, because somebody will get you to help them. They'll be like, I've got nothing on me. I've dropped into this raid, and you'll be like, they're new to the game, and you drop them a weapon and you help them out a little bit, and they'll kind of follow you around. And then at the last minute, just before you're about to exfil together, they'll just shoot you in the back of the head and take all your stuff and leave it all. So I mean it when I say it. Do not trust a single soul. Even if you bump into me on this game and you go, oh, that sounds like Reece from CrossButton, just shoot me in the game. Just don't. Although actually, I wouldn't screw you over and steal with your gear, because we've got a rep to protect, kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, just in serious, anyone it is, just don't trust anyone unless it's your own buddy you went into a party with. Do not trust anyone. But yeah, Ghost of Tabor, really recommend it. Having a blast with it, and yeah, if anyone does pick it up and they're like, I want some people to show me the ropes so I know what I'm doing, because it can be quite hectic to understand. Just hop into our Discord. The link's in the link tree. If it's like, just jump in there. Let me know that you're new to the game, or you're just looking for people to play with, and we'll set up a time and we'll jump in together, and I'll show you how to play it. And because the tutorial itself can be quite overwhelming, because there's so much. This is a very ambitious game. So yeah, if there's anything you need in terms of the game, any help with it, just drop in our Discord, and I'm more than happy to help.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I am
Yes.
glad it is well done. And speaking of things that are done, so is this episode.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed this episode, please tell your family and your friends all about us. And as we have said several times so far tonight, please jump into our Discord and say hello. Any final words, Reece, before we say goodbye?
No.
No? Okay. Well, I've been your host, Laurie, and I've been joined by the one and only Reece, and we will see you again next time. Until then, it's goodbye.